Welcome to the show, Mr. Khathu, to talk to us about the Road Accident Fund. Now, I suppose everyone wants to know, really, how are your finances doing?
We administer a fund which is worth 3.2 billion per month, and then with settlement of over 4.3. 2017, 2018, we have administered worth over 207,000 claims which were put through to us. And then of those, we managed to settle at least two-thirds of them. You see, in the midst of the challenges that we had in terms of the budget constraints.
Now, from a South African context, where does the relevance of the Road Accident Fund lie?
Wow, that's a very important and critical question. The Road Accident Fund exists for three basic reasons. We are a social security system which was put by the government in order to compensate, to rehabilitate, and to cover those people who were injured on our roads within the borders of South Africa due to the negligent driving of someone else. And then if I were to tell you now, you know that most of the South African affluent people are able to cover themselves. They've got insurances. And then whereas the majority of our people, and mostly the indigent, then they don't have covers. So the Road Accident Fund is there to cover the gap that exists between those people who are able to cover themselves and those who are not able to cover themselves. In other words, that gap which cost thousands and millions worth of rents, that is where the Road Accident Fund comes in. So we cover for their medicals, we cover for their loss of earnings, we cover for the loss of support claims, we cover for their funerals, because it's not everyone who can afford those things.
Now, one of the most interesting things that you raised, off camera, was that you were also focusing now, not directly, but indirectly, on road safety. Why is that?
Listen, it is within our interest. The more accidents are there, then it means the more costly it will be for the Road Accident Fund. So we have to contribute. We have to reduce the accidents. We have to be part and parcel of the road safety element or family within the transport family. Then we do have our own two-tier kind of approach on the road safety. The number one is on prevention, where we raise awareness, then we go to schools, then we teach people to be aware. And then the second element is the reactive one, where we have to do the researches, then we have to make sure that all the data that has been collected is used for the good purposes. It will guide us in terms of the approaches, different approaches, not only us, but also on other institutions which may have interest on the road safety element.
Are there any percentages available in terms of the poor roads having an impact on accidents themselves?
Well, let me answer that question this way. So last year's accidents prevalence was based on a human element, the human part where people drive drunk, people fall asleep, then people are not conscious of the state of their motor vehicles. You see, but we are seeing an increase on the accidents which are put to the Road Accident Fund as a result of the poor conditions of our roads. You see, so it's not a fiction, or it's not it's a common knowledge to say our states of roads are not in good condition, particularly in township mostly, or in other national roads, not necessarily the highways, where we have got potholes. Then we don't have well-marked roads. Those are some of the contributing factors.
So, for you, where does the change need to lie?
Well, unfortunately, it is not our prerogative as the Road Accident Fund. And then working hand in glove with your local municipalities, the Road Accident Fund, our tire, the other tire where we prevent the road fatalities, then we've got an element where we collaborate with your local municipalities. And then what we do is that we will go and identify a place where perhaps we need to shape up, and then perhaps we contribute by way of formulating your pedestrian crossing lines, and then you're creating your speed humps. And then Working with local municipalities, we believe that we may be able to reduce some of those hurdles.
And on that note, I want to thank you so much for coming through to the show.
Thank you very much.
I'm Bryce Nicholson, and you're watching Joburg Today.